Hi everybody, we're going to continue our demonstration here of Andean Abyss. We just finished the Salcedo card and now we come to Gramaje. So that card is revealed and underneath it is Kalima Front. Looking to see who is eligible here. We see the AUC and the cartels are eligible to play on Gramaje. Let's look at the event here. Gramaje, the unshaded portion, FARC protection rejected. All cartel guerrillas must conduct free attack on, well, that's not going to help. There's not enough cartel guerrillas to be helpful. So the AUC is not going to want the event, and I doubt the cartels are going to want to do anything with that either. Next card for the AUC. Place 2 terror and remove all FARC bases from a department with troops. Well, they need the government to actually go in there. And they wouldn't have the opportunity to synchronize that. So that's not a terribly useful thing for the AUC. So I guess the AUC is going to go ahead and take an operation and a special activity. Alright, what to do here, what to do. Got this nasty little guy here. What to do with him, because I can almost guarantee you what he's going to do is he is going to attempt to terrorize Antioquia, which is going to have a bad effect for AUC, because what it'll do is whenever the FARC terrorizes in an area, it shifts the alignment of that area one step toward active opposition. Now whenever the AUC or the cartels terrorize, it gravitates toward neutral. So they need to kill this guy. And the only way to be sure that they're going to kill him is to do an ambush. But that may not be necessary here. So we're actually going to take a chance and we're going to do 2 attacks. We're going to do 2 attacks, one in Arauca and one up here in Antioquia. So those are the areas where we're going to be attacking. To engage an attack, you pay 1 resource per space, so that's going to cost them 2 resources. And then what you do is you activate all of your guerrillas in that area. Okay, if they're already active, no worries. So we activate everybody in the area, then we roll 1 die, and we compare it to the number of guerrillas that we have in the area. And if it's less than or equal to, it is a success. And you remove 2 enemy pieces, but not necessarily from the same faction. Whenever you do an attack, if you roll a 1, as a bonus, you not only succeed in the attack, but you also get to place an additional underground guerrilla from your available stock. So we're going to roll a dice, and the die rolls a 1. Wow. So this worked out super cool for the AUC. So they get to place a guerrilla underground in there, and it removes up to 2 enemy pieces from the area. So this guy here goes away, and if there was another AUC piece or another FARC piece or a cartel piece, or even if it was a government cube in that area, that could be removed as well. So that was a very cool success for the AUC. Now over here, you'll see I only have 1 guerrilla. That may seem like a real low odds chance, you got a 1 in 6 chance to try to kill 2 pieces here. But here's what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to accompany the attack with a ambush special activity. Ambush allows you, it can only be done in 1 space which has been selected for an attack. And how it works is the attack is an automatic success. You treat it as though you rolled a 1, essentially. What happens is the attack activates 1 underground guerrilla, automatically succeeds, and then you place an underground cartel guerrilla. So he goes active. We remove 2 enemy pieces. Now, I can't remove the base because there's 3 guerrillas there covering that base. But I get to choose which guerrillas I remove. I'm going to remove the underground ones because the active one here is going to be less capable. In order to do an ambush, you have to have an underground guerrilla. So by removing underground guerrillas, we leave the exposed one, and he's got lower capabilities as to what he can do. Then we go ahead and, I think it was Control 6, we'll place a, AUC guerrilla goes into Arauca. So that worked out quite nice for the AUC. Very good turn for them. And that ends their faction play. Now, you may have noticed I didn't extort or anything like that. Well, that's because with an attack, I can either extort or I can ambush, but not both. All right, so now the cartels can act and do something here. They're going to be last eligible on the next card. They might as well do something here. But all they can do is a limited op, which is unfortunate. Who would be up next? Yeah, they're probably not going to get a chance to play on the next card, so they might as well do this here. They're going to go ahead and they're going to plant some guerrillas. They need to get something going here. Question is, where do they want to do it? Well, the government smacked them every time they've gone into a city, so I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and stick with a countryside strategy. So they're gonna put one guerrilla here in Nariño. So that costs them one resource to do, and that's all they get to do there. You might be wondering why I didn't put it down here in Putumayo, because then I'd be set up to put a base. I'm already set up to put a base with a what's known as a cultivate special action for the cartels. So we'll see how that works out in following turns. So that costs them one resource, and that ends the card. And we go to the next card, Colima Front, and only government and FARC are eligible. Looks like FARC's going to get the first play on it. Place 2 terror in a department with troops, aid -9. That could be nasty. But you know what? Aid's not a huge threat right now anyways. Next card. You know what I'm going to do with the FARC? I'm going to go ahead and take actions on this. Now the question is, do I want to do a special activity? The unshaded portion says place 2 terror and remove all FARC bases from a department of troops. Okay, that's not dangerous against the FARC. So we're going to do a FARC operation and a FARC special activity. So what we want to do here is probably going to be a march, because what a march is going to do is put our guys onto locks where we can really hurt the government. To march, you pay one resource per destination, department, or city. Marching guerrillas move only to an adjacent space. So you can move on to an adjacent lock or into an adjacent department. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to land on these locks. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because it's all free. Now, whenever you're marching, if the number of marching guerrillas plus the number of troops in the area exceeds 3, or excuse me, the number of cubes in the area exceeds 3, then the marching guerrillas will go active. So, in fact, let me explain this a little bit further, because this can kind of be confusing. When you move guerrillas into adjacent spaces, for the FARC, if the destination has support, or if it's a lock, and the moving guerrillas plus cubes there exceed 3, activate the guerrillas. So the most number of guerrillas you can put on a lock right now without them going active would be 3, unless there's cubes on it. And right now there's no cubes on any locks. So we're going to aggressively attack the government locks. And tell you what, we'll hit that one right there. By the way, the towns are dots. And dots are not spaces on the map. They only break up adjacency. So this lock here is adjacent to this lock, and this lock. This department is adjacent to this department, and this department via Ayacucho. Or Ayacucho. Yeah, whatever. Terrible with these names. And let's see, I think that's going to just about do it. Whoop, we got another lock here. All right, so all of this is free because I'm moving on to locks. So let's just do these one at a time. Over here, I'm going to put the active one here, put the underground one here. Just delete these as I go. Put him here. I just heard that we're having a bit of a lightning storm. I'm hoping it doesn't cut out my power when I'm doing this. That was a pretty close one. Go ahead and put one here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put the active one there. And delete these I don't need. Go there. Go there. basically I'm just wanting to make myself a real pain in the neck to the government, because now he has to deal with this threat or he's going to be in huge financial straits. This guy, I want to leave him alone. I want to leave him where he's at. This guy here, I'm going to move on to that lock. You know what? I need to leave him behind. So this one here, that's not going to happen. And this guy here, I will go ahead and put him, because it's a very valuable lock here. I'm going to go ahead and put him up on there. And that's going to put the government in a real tough spot. Next, whenever I do a march, the FARC may also extort. I think I'll extort here, 1. And I don't see anywhere else I want to do it. I could extort on the locks. See, when you extort, any spaces where FARC guerrillas include underground guerrillas and they outnumber non-FARC pieces, they may, in each space, select one of those FARC guerrillas. They add one resource and activate one underground FARC guerrilla. So I could do that on those locks, but I want to keep the guys on the locks underground, because then they're in a position to do terror operations on those locks. And once they do a terror operation on a lock, that lock is sabotaged and will not contribute its economic value to the government resources during a propaganda phase, which could cripple the government. Because remember, the government's not going to get any aid. So the government's got to deal with this, and if you can hear the lightning and the thunder and lightning in the background is really getting close here, so I probably should stop this video before I lose power. So I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and stop the video here, and we'll find out what the government does on this activity in the next, they'll have a response to this. We'll find out what that response is going to be in our next video.